Welcome back to Inside Bristol, and I'm with Terry Napier with Parks and Recreation here in Bristol. Thank you so much for coming on today.
Thank you for having me.
Well, you know, he doesn't really have much to do, so that's why he decided to come on the show today, just because there's nothing going on right now with Parks and Rec. Is that right? Totally wrong.
That is totally wrong.
Totally wrong. I think people get this impression, we were talking about this right before we started filming, that you know, it's winter, and so, well, what's going on in Parks and Rec? Really, a lot is going on in Parks and Rec, so nothing ever slows down.
Never slows down. This is interesting time of year for us. Of course, you know, we're wrapping up football. Basketball kicked off this week, and you know, that's kind of our recreational activity through the winter's basketball, because that'll take us into January. But what really occupies our time is, you know, this is when baseball is finished. So we've got 7 baseball fields. This is when we rebuild infields, you know, take care of all the grass, aeration, you know, add topsoil, top dress, reseed. So 7 baseball fields, you know, 6 softball fields, soccer fields. This is when we do our maintenance when it's cold.
This is why everything looks so nice in the spring. So, you know, how long does that take? I mean, you're talking a ton of fields, a ton of land. What does that encompass?
It'll take us all winter. It'll take us all winter to finish all the fields, because as we go through most of our baseball facilities, you know, there's no heat in the building, which means the buildings have to be winterized. Lines, water lines all have to be disconnected, lines blown out. You know, we put antifreeze in all the toilets and urinals. So it's just a lot of work switching over to get us through the winter, which means that all that has to be undone in the spring.
So when do you typically start that process?
Really, when we see the temperature stay above freezing is when we start putting things back together.
And then I'm sure still at this time of year, I mean, I went out for a run last night and it was a little chilly, but honestly, it's just still so nice to be outside doing some things. So I'm sure the parks are still pretty busy. And
park traffic stays. I mean, even, you know, when you get a big snow, it picks up, because, you know, what better place to go play than the parks. So we really don't see a huge decrease in traffic in our parks. You know, maybe baseball and softball and those things aren't as active, but you know, I was down at the park this weekend, and with the leaves on the ground, family photograph time.
Exactly.
You know, the park was just full of photographers doing the family photographs and throwing the leaves in the air. So we go through all the transitions with our park use. So it's not just something that gets used during the summer.
So we really do appreciate you taking your time to come and visit with us and share with us what's going on, because we're so lucky in Bristol. I mean, it's just so beautiful, and there's so many great places to go. And
there are, and it keeps getting better. I mean, if you missed the Pinnacle Park opening, you need to go see it. It's awesome. I mean, it's such a cool, and it's so unique, and so many people participated in that, and you know, we're just so fortunate here in this area.
I mean, you could pretty much keep all of our social calendars busy every week of the year.
We try.
Yeah, I know, because you get that packet and you're like, oh shoot, I can't do that, but maybe I could do this. And so it's great. Well, we know that you're busy, but we do appreciate you coming on. And is it still basketball sign up, or?
We'll take some late sign-ups now, but chances are you won't get to play for your school. We'll have to bump you to a school that has an opening. You know, we get all the registrations in, and you know, we limit the number on teams. So I think right now we've split 8 teams into 2 each, just to make sure every kid gets playing time. So we're going through the transition of splitting teams, finding new coaches. So the first 2 weeks is really hectic in basketball, just getting everything worked out, getting gym space to practice. And once we get through that first 2 weeks, everything's kind of smooth sailing, and the kids can focus on playing basketball and having fun, because that's what it's all about.
Well, Terry, thank you so much for coming on today, and stay tuned, because we'll be right back.